The British Isles is the correct term for the islands that make up most of what people call Britain, lie off the northwest corner of the European mainland. There are over 5,000 islands that make up the British Isles, of which only around 130 are inhabited. The two largest islands in the British Isles are Great Britain and Ireland. They have the most people living there, but other smaller islands such as the Isle of Wight, Anglesey, Jersey, Shetland, Orkney, the Isle of Sheppey and the Isle of Man have lots of people living there too. Who lived in the British Isles first? We don't know much about the first people who lived in Britain. People didn't write things down back then, so most of our information comes from fragments of bone, bits of stone, fossils, pottery and other artifacts. The latest thinking is that for hundreds of thousands of years, there were probably no humans in Britain at all, but there were animals. These animals crossed over a land bridge that linked what we now call the British Isles to mainland of Europe. Then, about 500,000 years ago, people from Europe began to arrive. These were Britain's earliest immigrants. Britain's earliest immigrants were hunter-gatherers who lived by gathering food like nuts and fruit. Also, by killing animals for meat and fur. Britain's earliest immigrants moved around in small groups, sheltering in caves or building basic huts. They learned skills such as lighting fires and making sharp flint tools. For thousands of years, hunter-gatherers could easily cross to Britain from Europe and back again because there was no English Channel. When there was no English Channel, it was the period of Ice Age because the sea was frozen solid. Then, around 8500 BC, the climate started to warm up and the ice began to melt. Over the next few thousand years, the land bridge gradually disappeared underwater as the sea's level rose, and Britain became an island. An early settlement. The one-room huts were built of wood and mud with pieces of turf or straw thatch for roofs. The crops in the fields and the livestock fenced into pens. Most of the tools people used were made from wood and stone rather than iron or other metals, which is why this period is usually known as the Stone Age.